Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan, once more with you from your very own channel, Astro Assurance. Today I am going to bring to you the transit of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, in its debut sign of Capricorn, which is going to happen sometime later next month in November. Why I am doing this video now is to give you some time to prepare for the impending events, the impending results which may come to you next month onwards. And it's important time because Jupiter is going to remain in Capricorn for almost a year till next year November, and Rahu and Ketu are going to remain in Taurus and Scorpio respectively, and Saturn is going to give company to Jupiter in Capricorn, which is its own sign. And because Saturn's transit into Capricorn has happened almost after 28.5 years, and Jupiter's giving it company to Saturn has also happened after a long period of time, and hence this is a very important transit of Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, in its debilitation sign, giving the company to Saturn, and under the aspect of Rahu, where Rahu is going to aspect Jupiter with its 9th aspect. So this is very important placement for Jupiter. The other thing is, both Ketu and Saturn are going to aspect Jupiter's sign of Pisces, Ketu with its 5th aspect and Saturn with its 3rd aspect. So again, very important placement for those people who are expecting results out of the Jupiter, and also results out of Rahu and transit, Ketu transit, which has happened last month. So important phases for all of us. So let's jump into the analysis for what the respective signs are telling us about this particular transit. However, this transit will give you overall results of Jupiter in Capricorn while being placed with Saturn, and not only about Jupiter in Capricorn, because then the analysis will be erroneous if you don't keep into account that Saturn is also with Jupiter and is influencing Jupiter's result. Also, that Rahu is aspecting Jupiter with his 9th aspect, and Jupiter is aspecting Rahu back. If you don't take into account these perspectives, and Ketu and Saturn both aspecting Jupiter's sign of Pisces, then the overall analysis will be wrong. So if any analysis is telling you only about Jupiter in Capricorn, then that's an incomplete analysis, it's an erroneous analysis. So let's jump into the analysis of all the signs one by one, keeping in mind the overall factors of Jupiter in Capricorn with Saturn and under the aspect of Rahu. So let's start with Aries. For Aries ascendant natives, Jupiter will be transiting into the sign of Capricorn, its debilitation sign, in the 10th house, along with giving company to Saturn, which has already moved into Capricorn January this year. Jupiter is going to aspect the Rahu in the 2nd house, which is also the money house or house of earning and savings, and so this is an important placement. Jupiter is going to add strength to and try and expand the earning potential of Aries ascendant natives, while Rahu is going to increase the learning ability and the thirst and greed of Guru or Jupiter in the 10th house from a career perspective. Now, because Jupiter rules both the 9th house and the 12th house and is placed in the 10th house with Saturn under the aspect of Rahu, so the overall results of Jupiter will be mixed for Aries ascendant natives, because here the 12th house is also coming into the picture, money is coming into the picture, and long distance travel is also coming into the picture, faith and luck are also coming into the picture. So what will be the expected results of Jupiter's transit into Capricorn next month? Firstly, because Jupiter rules both the 9th house and the 12th house, and then placed in the 10th house, which means long distance travel, higher learning, higher education, higher degrees are getting connected to career. So wherever you are having higher degrees, higher learning, higher certifications, there is a chance of these coming to fruition when Jupiter moves into the 10th house of career next month, because higher learning and higher education, higher qualification will add value to your career and will be fruitful in your careers. However, at the other end, because Jupiter is ruling the 12th house, this goodness, this fruition of results may come more from foreign lands, foreign companies, multinational corporations, and also from consulting for those companies or consulting and working for MNCs. But because Jupiter is going into its debilitation sign of Capricorn, one needs to be careful, because 12th house is also the house of waste and excess. So waste and excess coming to career in debilitation, specifically when connected to long distance travel, higher learning and higher education, and dealing with foreign lands. So one needs to be careful. However, for those people for whom Jupiter is very well placed in their Lagna chart, this is a very, very good placement. Rahu aspecting Guru means, or Jupiter means, that Rahu will continue to give you the thirst for results of career and push you to gain more. However, because both Jupiter and Saturn are slow moving planets, and Saturn is very strong in Capricorn and will slow down the results considerably, which means you will have to work very, very hard to get fruits of labor, or you will have to be patient, because Rahu will give you the hunger and greed but will take away your patience. So the good thing about this is, while Jupiter is going to be in Capricorn in its debilitation sign, Jupiter gets debilitated at 5th degree in Capricorn. And so after the first 3 months, when Jupiter will move away from its debilitation degree of 5th degree, then from next year February onwards, much better results can be expected for Aries ascendant natives, because more gains will come, higher earning will come. You will also get good gains from foreign lands in career. You may also get an opportunity of studying abroad. Your research papers and PhDs may come through, and through those you will also add a increment or a maturity or a role change, a positive role change in your career. So keep this in mind and play your cards accordingly. So good period in the first 3 months will be preparation period. After that, the next 9 months will be much better. So treat the next 3 months starting from end of November till beginning of February as a preparation period. Make your choices accordingly, and next February onwards you will get very good opportunities. However, opportunities will keep coming to you from December onwards, from the first week of December onwards till the first week of February and even later. So keep your eyes open and make your choices accordingly. For Taurus ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 8th house and the 11th house and is placed in the 9th house along with Saturn, under the aspect of Rahu from the Lagna, while Ketu is placed in the 7th house. So this is a good position for Taurus ascendant natives, with Jupiter going into its natural sign, which is the 9th house, but in the sign of Capricorn, its debilitation sign with Saturn. So Jupiter will retain some of its strength, unlike for Aries people where it is in the 10th house. In Capricorn, here it is in its natural 9th house, so it will retain some strength, but still being in Capricorn, Saturn will have its upper hand. So let's see for Taurus ascendant natives what results you can expect in the next year, starting from November, for the entire year, from November 2020 onwards till November 2021 for Taurus ascendant natives. For Taurus ascendant natives, Jupiter is aspecting the Lagna, the ascendant, which is a good placement, because aspecting the Lagna, the ascendant, and aspecting Rahu there in the money sign of Taurus means Jupiter will expand both the stature in society, but will also expand your ambitions, which Rahu brings, may also bring gains, and will also create opportunities for making more money. However, with Jupiter ruling the 8th house and the 11th house and placed in the 9th house, you can expect suddenness of events to rule the next year, which means because Jupiter rules the 8th house, you may expect sudden results from long distance travel, sudden results from your social connections, working in large organizations. So sudden communication for a role change, sudden communication for location change, sudden communication for a promotion when not expected, new projects, new team members, changes in the organization which if affect you, your work directly or indirectly, all may come back next 1 year. Also, with Jupiter ruling the 8th house, this could be more true for those people who have connections to the industries such as insurance, other people's wealth or financial wealth management, taxes, audits, spy agencies, surgeries, mining, and even occult sciences. So all these will be the areas where Jupiter can exert its largest results. However, with Jupiter going into the 9th house while being the ruler of the 8th, this also means that your research in certain areas, if you are trying to get expertise, may bring you good results, but it will not be easy. It may take a few months into the year before the results will come by for you from February onwards. So keep in mind and use this time for preparing. If you are trying to get admissions in foreign universities, that may also come by for you. The doors of fate and luck will open for some of you, and because the 10th Lord is also coming into the 9th house with Jupiter, so they are sharing energies and sharing strength in the 9th house, because Jupiter is the natural ruler of the 9th house. Jupiter is aspecting the Lagna, and so those results will come by, and Saturn is aspecting Jupiter's sign Pisces, which is the 11th house. So results which will come from social connections or working in large organizations may come by slow for you, which is that 11th house is also ruled by Jupiter. So keep in mind, however, don't reduce your efforts, because efforts will be the key to success for over the next 1 year for Taurus ascendant natives. You may get a little frustrated with Rahu in the ascendant. You may push hard for increments, for growth, but if you're not patient and you push too hard, you spoil your relations with your superiors and authority figures, because Saturn rules the 10th house and is placed in the 9th house with a debilitated Jupiter. Then you will spoil your chances. So push hard, have high aspiration, but also be patient, have good relation with your supervisors and managers, and you may get good results. With Ketu also aspecting the 11th house, so be careful of how you deal with your colleagues at work and who you trust, and hold your cards close to the chest, and then success will start coming to you post February onwards or end of January onwards. So good luck to you. For Gemini ascendant natives, Jupiter rules your 7th house and also rules your 10th house, so relationships and career under perspective, and is placed in the 8th house along with Saturn. So this means that relationships and career are placed with Jupiter's and Saturn being one of the important influencers. So Jupiter ruling 9th, the 7th house and the 10th house, relations and careers may go through ups and downs, some upheavals, and suddenness of events may rule the results for Gemini ascendant natives. However, with Saturn being there in the 8th house, this also is a very protective placement, because Saturn is in its own sign. So results will come slow, may be sudden also. However, the bad effects to a large extent Saturn will be obliterating or reducing, and results will come by to you slowly. The good results will come by to you slowly, though sudden communication and sudden events may throw up challenges for you. However, Jupiter also aspecting Rahu in the 12th house, so a sudden travel abroad, a sudden movement abroad, a sudden gain from foreign lands, or sudden travel to foreign lands for a project are key for Gemini people. So this is an important placement for Gemini people. With Jupiter and Saturn in the 8th house, relationships are of the essence, so keep your relationships under control. Don't push hard, don't exert yourself, don't be aggressive in relationships, keep patient and ensure that relationships keep going, your partnerships keep going. Especially in business, this is also a time of suddenness of events with the 7th Lord going into the 8th house. So be careful of who you get into partnerships with and whether you're taking any decisions regarding partnerships, because this is the key period for you over the next 1 year because of Jupiter's placement in the 8th house while ruling the 7th and the 10th house. However, with Ketu aspecting the 10th house and Saturn also aspecting the 10th house ruled by Jupiter, which means that results may slow down in coming. While you may get communication, upheavals may happen, but any increments, any new changes, any profit bringing changes will happen late and may happen later from February onwards rather than early. So keep this next 3 months from end of November onwards till first week of February as a preparation period. Work on your relations with supervisors and managers and better results will come by for you. All those people whose careers are connected to learning, to consulting, to management, to advising, all those will do very, very well. Especially if they are connected to finance, accounts, higher learning, degrees, qualifications, higher qualifications, and also to health, because Jupiter and Saturn coming to the 8th house means medical industry will also do very, very well. For Cancer ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 6th house and also the 9th house of luck, 6th house of service, and Jupiter is placed in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships with Saturn, and under the influence of Rahu from your 11th house with its 9th aspect, when Jupiter is also aspecting Rahu back. So the results for Cancer will be connected to relationships, will be connected to partnerships, and will also be connected to service. Those people who are in service, those people who are connected to consulting, higher learning or business or having teams under them, they will all do very, very well. However, it will take time for the teams to come together, for the results to come together, for the projects to give you fruits of your labor. So be patient and handle team better, handle their team patiently, be very clear in your communication, and keep track of what results you are getting in your projects, in your work, in your business. Don't let the guard down, because the 6th Lord going into the 7th house means sudden changes may come in. There may be competition from behind the back. Some people may be working behind the back. However, with Jupiter also ruling the 9th house of fate and luck and higher learning, so use your wisdom in taking decisions regarding your career, regarding service, and you will then do very well. With Rahu going into the money sign of Taurus in the 11th house, this brings gains from your social connections, working in large organization, and Jupiter is protecting the 11th house. So your social connections may come to your rescue. There may be one big opportunity for a change in career and moving up the ladder in terms of both role and in designation. So use the next 1 year to your advantage, because this is going to be a fruitful year, except that relationships may be under strain. So be careful in your personal life and also in business or in teams, because only teams and partnerships will get you good gains, and if you handle them well, then this could be a money spinning year for Cancer ascendant natives starting from February next year. So keep your fingers crossed, keep your competition at bay, and you will do very, very well. For Leo ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 5th house and also rules the 8th house and is placed in the 6th house in Capricorn along with Saturn. Rahu is placed in the 10th house and is aspecting Jupiter with its 9th aspect. So the results for Leo ascendant natives could be connected to career. Rahu going into the 10th house is a sudden movement up in terms of career, in terms of role designations. It's a very, very good placement, because Rahu has gone into the money sign and into the 10th house and under the aspect of Jupiter from the 6th house of service. So this is going to be a fantastic period for Leo ascendant natives, and it is only going to be you doing something wrong, you taking a wrong step, that may spoil your chances. Unless Jupiter is not very well placed in your natal chart, in your birth chart, then there is no stopping for Leo ascendant natives for over the next 1 year. Though the results will come slow to you, because Saturn is placed with Jupiter in the 6th house. So be a little careful of what movements you take. You may have some opportunities which may come by to you, which may seem to be good, but be careful and do your due diligence before you take those decisions, because these decisions could be critical in how your career could manifest going forward. This could also connect and affect your earnings, because Rahu is placed in the 10th house in the sign of Taurus. So this is critical from a career perspective also. Ketu being placed in the 4th house, though in its own co-ruling sign of Scorpio, but also aspecting the 8th house. This will be a little protective of sudden events coming your way. But Saturn also aspecting Jupiter's sign of Pisces in the 8th house means that nothing will come immediately, things will come slow, though Rahu may bring some sudden changes in career. So career could be one area where suddenness of communication may come in, suddenness of movement up may come, relocation may also come. But overall in other things, as long as you are a little careful and you take decisions carefully, things will be under control. Take care of your health, because Jupiter is getting debilitated in the 6th house. Take care of your diet, and if you keep your diet under control, you exercise regularly, this could be a fantastic period for you, because Jupiter is also going to aspect the 2nd house of earnings while being placed in the 6th house. So Jupiter is aspecting the 10th house of career, Jupiter is also aspecting the 2nd house of earnings, and Rahu placed in the 10th house is a fantastic placement for Leo ascendant natives. So you better make the most of this placement for you, and all the best to you. For Virgo ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 4th house and the 7th house and is placed in the 5th house with Saturn. Now Rahu is placed in your 9th house and aspecting Jupiter and Saturn in the 5th house, and Ketu is placed in your 2nd house, and Ketu is placed in your 3rd house, which means that both Rahu and Jupiter are getting connected by aspecting on each other, and so home life or domestic life and your business partnerships are highlighted. So some change in your domestic life can be seen, especially with the 4th Lord Jupiter going into the 5th house, which means there could be a change in your home environment, a change or even a construction at home. You may even do some repairs at your home or beautify your home. And with Rahu aspecting Jupiter in the 5th house, this is also a change of home or change of location because of Jupiter being placed in the 8th house from your 10th house of career. So some change in your career can bring about a change in location or a change in your residence. You may even move closer. You may also move within the city for work because of changing your role at work also. Some of you could be changing your hours of work because of Rahu aspecting Jupiter in the 5th house, which is the 8th house to the career house. So changes and upheavals coming in your career or your job environment, and hence some of you may keep odd hours. So be careful about your health, especially if you are going to put in long hours of work, because the 6th house of service Lord Saturn is also going into the 5th house. Children's relations and children's results, children's education will also take some of your time, but don't ignore it, because then you will have to put in greater effort later if you don't keep attention to your children's affairs start of the year, starting from November when Jupiter will make the transit into Capricorn. With 4th house strongly activated because of Jupiter's transit into the 5th house from the 4th house end of November, this also brings in domestic changes, which means some of you could get married, especially if you are in a relationship, long-term relationship with somebody. So romance is getting clicked, the house of romance is getting clicked, risk is also getting clicked, and because romance is also a risk that you take getting into a relation with somebody, so this marriage is surely going to be a step forward for some of you who are not in a relationship, who are in the relationship but not in a committed relationship like a marriage yet. Especially because the 7th house Lord is also going into the 5th house and is connected to the domestic house of 4th house. So marriage or engagement, long-term commitment can definitely be seen. Risk-taking ability is also seen. Some of you may speculate in property because 4th house Lord is going into the 5th house. Some of you can gain in property also. However, be careful because the 4th Lord going into its debilitation sign. So be careful for the first 3 months till February, because these first 3 months are going to be critical, where Jupiter will be closest to its degrees of debilitation. So post February things will ease off and things will be not as risk averse like in the first 3 months. So be careful here. For business people, a very good placement. You can take some risks in business. However, be careful what risks you take, because the Rahu's aspect on Jupiter means it is going to throw a towel over your eyes, smoky screen over your eyes, and you may not be able to see challenging areas effectively. So do all your due diligence, take your time before you take decisions, because Saturn is anyways going to slow down results, good results that may come to you. So good results may only start coming to you from February onwards. So keep your fingers crossed and take your decisions with care. If you do that, then the doors of fate and luck are opening for you, because Rahu is in the money sign of Taurus in the 9th house of fate and luck. So a good period for you over the next 1 year. For Libra ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 3rd house and the 6th house and is going to be placed in the 4th house along with Saturn. Now the 4th house's natural ruler is Cancer, where Jupiter gets exalted. So while Jupiter is going in its debilitation sign of Capricorn, yet it will retain some of its strength because it is going into the natural house where it gets exalted. With Jupiter and Saturn under the 9th aspect of Rahu from the 8th house, which is the money sign of Taurus, which means sudden gains in property may come about, sudden gains of wealth, especially for those people who are connected to insurance, who are connected to taxes, audits, mining, medical professions, even connections connected to home insurance, car insurance, jewelry. All of these are highlighted. Those people who are in anything related to home improvement, home construction materials, real estate, all can do very well, because the 3rd Lord is going into the 4th house, which means self-enterprise and effort. Lord is going into the 4th house, which means the more effort that you put in, the more communication that you work on, the more you work on your marketing and your branding, the better results Libra ascendant natives will get because of Jupiter's placement in the 4th house and Capricorn. However, because Jupiter gets debilitated in Capricorn, so the first 3 months are going to be challenging months for Libra ascendant natives, and post that from February onwards you will get better results. Especially because the 5th Lord is also going into the 4th house and Saturn also rules the 4th house, which means that you may also get good gains if you are working out of home, or if you have a home office, or you are consulting other people out of home, or you are working out of home. Then this is a very good placement for you. And if you do that over the next 1 year, then you will get very good results. So continue to put the hard work. If some of you are planning to make a change in your career, this is going to be a good movement. However, make sure that you do work out all the details before you quit your job and start something of your own, because then otherwise, without due diligence, without good preparation, you could fall into trouble, because the 5th Lord of risk is also coming together with Jupiter who's the Lord of the 3rd house of effort. Especially with Rahu aspecting Guru, that is Jupiter and Saturn, which means that be careful of doing your due diligence, looking into documents and then taking a decision. Then these things could be very good for you, and the next 1 year could be a money spinner for you, especially connected to the industries that I have talked about. This will be more true for those people who have a very strong Jupiter in your natal chart. So good luck to people who are of the Libra ascendant natives. For Scorpio ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 2nd house and also the 5th house, and is placed in the 3rd house with Saturn, and under the 9th aspect of Rahu from the 7th house, where Ketu is going into the Lagna, but in its own co-ruling sign of Scorpio. So this is going to be a good placement for those people who are in business, with Rahu going into the 7th house and aspecting Jupiter. in the second house, in the third house. So anyone who's trying to take a step forward in their own enterprise, own business, especially connected to writing, communication, writing blogs, social media, they will all do very well, because the third house of communication, self-enterprise, social media, all is getting connected to Rahu, which is also connected to, which also stands for technology. And so because Rahu is placed in the sign of Taurus, which is the money sign, and placed and aspecting Jupiter, which rules the second house of income and savings, so which means that money can come in with your own efforts, connected to communication, connected to short distance journeys, connected to how well you brand yourself and you market yourself, connected to how you put in more effort and over a period of time. Because Saturn also rules the third house, which means your effort and your communication skills over a period of time can bring you very good gains. Some of you may even move your residence over the next 6 months or 7 months, because fourth lord Saturn is going into the third house, which is the house for neighborhood. So some of you can make changes in your residence or move house, but some of you may also travel to other city for a new role. So short distance travel within 400-500 kilometers and shifting to a new city can also be seen with these placements, and career is definitely going to be highlighted, and a lot of gains can also come, because Jupiter is aspecting the 11th house of gains, and so it's good period for Scorpio ascendant natives over the next 1 year. Be careful of your health, because Ketu is going to be placed in your Lagna and is aspecting the 5th house, which is also ruled by Jupiter. So be careful of what risks you take. The lesser risks you take, the better. So continue to be in the role that you are. If you take a risk of doing some self-enterprise, do it with due diligence and minimize your risk. Otherwise, Ketu in the Lagna can bring you unnecessary tension, unnecessary problems. So those people who work good in teams will do very well. Those people who will work with others or in business can do very, very well. Money will come in for them. Money may also come into your spouse. Spouse can also do very, very well. However, keep your expectation less from others and work more on what you can bring to the team rather what the team brings to you. Then the team will bring luck to you, favors to you. Spouse will also bring the favors and luck to you. And this is a good placement for Scorpio ascendant natives over the next 1 year. So good luck to all of you. For Sagittarius ascendant natives, Jupiter rules both the Lagna as well as the 4th house and has gone into the 2nd house of earning and savings, and Jupiter is also the Karak of the 2nd house. So it's a very, very good strong placement, because Rahu and Ketu are in the 6th and 12th axis, which means they are in the 6th house and the 12th house, and Rahu is aspecting Jupiter from the 6th house to Jupiter, which is in the 2nd house. So since the 2nd house is also Artha Bhav, the house of money, 6th house is also the Artha Bhav, again a house of money, and Jupiter is also aspecting the 10th house while being placed in the 2nd house, and the 10th house is also Artha Bhav, a house of money, and so money is getting connected to career, money is getting connected to higher earnings, money is getting connected to improvement, which means the better you do at service, the more hard you work, the better results you will get. However, you will face a lot of competition, but just ignore them at work. There will be people who may be backbiting and try to spoil your chances. Ignore them. Establish very good relations with your bosses, because Rahu is also aspecting the 10th house of career. So with both Jupiter's aspect on the 10th house and Rahu's aspect also in the 10th house, this is a very good time for a leap forward for career or in career for Sagittarius ascendant natives, with improvement in money, with improvement in savings, with improvement in service. Higher roles may also come to you, may also be connected to foreign companies, MNCs, may even be in consulting roles. Especially with Jupiter also being the Lagna Lord and the 4th Lord and going to the 2nd house, some of you may follow in the footsteps of father or get connected to your family business. So if you have a family business and you get connected to that, then after a first few months of where you may go through some slowdown, February onwards you will get much better gains. So prepare for yourself for the next 3 months if you are taking a decision, if you are making a change. And from February onwards, career will take off, money will take off, service will take off, role change may happen, and higher earning may also come to you. So all the best for Sagittarius ascendant natives for the next year, starting from November, Jupiter's transit, end of November this year. For Capricorn ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 12th house and the 3rd house and is going into the Lagna itself along with the Lagna Lord Saturn. This is one of the key and a very karmic placements for Capricorn ascendant natives, because this placement of Saturn going into its own sign in the Lagna has come after 28.5 years, and then Jupiter joining it, which is also the 12th Lord and the 3rd house Lord also, which means foreign lands are getting connected, because the 12th Lord has now gone into the Lagna itself and joined by the Lagna Lord. So good placement for getting good results in MNCs, from foreign lands, from law, from working for foreign service, and also in communication, in marketing, in branding, in travel, in tourism, in writing, in fiction. All of these are getting connected strongly. With Saturn also ruling the 2nd house in place in the Lagna, which means the more effort that you put, because the 3rd Lord is in the Lagna, the 2nd Lord is also in the Lagna, which means effort and money is getting connected to your improvement in reputation in society and standing in society. However, with 12th Lord Jupiter going into its debilitation sign in Capricorn means that a lot of your effort may go waste if you don't pay attention to where you need to put in effort and where you need to save. This could also be a year of higher expenses for you if you don't keep in mind a rein on expenses, because the 2nd Lord is also going into the Lagna with the 12th Lord of waste and excess. So if you are careful of your earnings, you put in higher effort in your earnings to gain more money, and if you save money on your waste and you keep a tap on that, then you will find that you will gain more money, you will get increments, and you may also be able to save money if you are careful about your savings. However, with Rahu placed in the 5th house and aspecting Saturn and Jupiter in the Lagna, which means the more risks you take, you may gain more. However, be careful where you take risks, because Rahu can also put a smoke screen over your eyes. This is also a good placement of maybe finding romance with somebody who is from another culture, maybe from another ethnicity as well, or maybe even from somebody not from your religion. And be careful of what risks you take, because Rahu can also lead you into wrong risk taking, especially related to money. So if you are thinking of investing in stocks, be careful of what stocks you invest, what share market you invest in, because this could give you very high sudden gains but also sudden downfalls. So as long as you are careful, as long as you take care, because Jupiter is also aspecting Rahu back and protecting the savings, you will do very well in speculative investments and savings also. Some of you may also do very well where if you are in accounts or finance or banking industry, because Ketu is also gone into the 11th house and aspecting the 3rd house of effort, which means that you may need to put in a lot of effort. However, your effort may give you more gains from February onwards rather than the initial 3 to 4 months. So do keep putting in the effort for the next 3 months, starting from the end of November, and from February onward you will see the more effort that you put, the more careful risks that you take, you may increase savings and earnings, and your reputation and standing in society may also improve. So good luck to Capricorn ascendant natives. For Aquarius ascendant natives, Jupiter rules the 11th house and the 2nd house and is going into the 12th house with Saturn, which means that Jupiter has gone into the 12th house, which is its debilitation sign, but into its own natural house, which means Jupiter will gain and retain some of its strength while being placed, in spite of its being placed in its debilitation sign, and with Saturn. Saturn will definitely help in keeping a curb on your spending. Saturn in the 12th house in its own sign is a very powerful sign of trying to be a little stingy on your expenses. So You may spend less over the next 1 year, and which will be good thing because the 12th house is also the house of waste and excess. Some of your societal connections may not bring you as much fruits as you plan. If you are trying to go abroad, work for a foreign company, be careful what decisions you take, because the initial few months, the first 4-5 months may not bring you good gains till Jupiter moves away from its debilitation sign degrees. So from February onwards, you may get better gains in foreign lands, better gains in MNCs, better gains in consulting assignments, or any assignment where you are a support function role rather than a direct functional role. The other thing is, Jupiter is also aspecting Rahu in the 4th house, which means the residence is getting connected to foreign lands, especially with Rahu also placed there, which means something unusual is coming to your home, or home becoming unusual, which also means traveling far away from your current house and maybe traveling thousands of kilometers away from your current place and working in a place which is far away because of change in land, change in career, change in residence, or a movement to foreign lands even after marriage for those who are single. This is a strong placement of moving to foreign lands, of career getting connected to foreign lands or foreign companies, especially because the 11th Lord, which also represents large organizations, is going into the 12th house. This is also good placement for all those who are connected to spiritual organizations, NGOs, and those who are connected to the service industry, because both Jupiter and Saturn are getting into the 12th house, which is also a higher spiritual realm for both of them. So all the best for Aquarius ascendant natives, where you can get more money connected to foreign lands because the second Lord is going into the 12th house. So though the results will come slowly, but they will surely come in, because both the Lagna Lord and the second Lord are going into the 12th house. But if you are not careful and if you don't take decisions accordingly with due diligence, then the first 4 to 5 months can be trouble bringing to you. High expenses can come in and force you to be stingy, and thus try to save your money. So prepare well, do your diligence very well, and you may get a lot of money, or money coming through Rahu in the money sign of Taurus in the 4th house, strongly getting connected. Ketu being placed in the 10th house, which means that there could be a change which Ketu can bring in if you are pushing for a change, if you are looking for a change. But the Guru going to the 12th house, be careful of what change you are trying to get, because it could backfire to you at least in the first 4 or 5 months, at least till beginning of February. So make your due diligence well, and money and career change and good gains overall from large organizations and connected to foreign lands can be seen. So all the best to Aquarius ascendant natives. For Pisces ascendant natives, Jupiter rules both the 10th house as well as the Lagna, the ascendant, the 1st house, and is placed in the 11th house with Saturn, which also rules the 11th house. Now, which means that both Jupiter and Saturn going into the 11th house, 11th house also represents working in large organizations and your social connections, which means with both of them there, Lagna Lord Jupiter also there, which means that your standing in society could be something which could also bring gains for you. But some of you, if your Jupiter is not well placed in your natal chart, then you may also face some backlash from your social connection. So be careful of who you befriend, who you get into dealings with, and who you start working with. Don't give assurances for somebody who you don't know very well, or you cannot trust very well. Build on your relations, work on your relationships, because your 10th house of career is getting connected to the 11th house of gains and societal gains. But in a debilitation sign means this will take time. For the first 3-4 months you'll have to work hard on your social connections, then gains may come from you. So building good relations with authority figures, with your managers and your management can bring gains for you, but through hard work, because Rahu is placed in the 3rd house, which represents hard work and self-enterprise, but in the money sign of Taurus. That means with more effort in your career, gains will come. However, gains will come slowly over a period of time, but be careful of who you're competing with, who you're working, who you're giving assurance for. If you're working on projects, ensure that you can depend on your teams, because the project that you submit may have some flaws, may have some bugs, and that may bring down your reputation with your managers and your management. So be careful when you do that, because both the Lagna Lord and the 12th Lord are getting into the 11th house of social connections and working in a large organization. Especially Lagna Lord going into the debilitation sign means be careful for the first 3 months what decisions you make, who you connect with, who you say what. Don't share your secrets with anybody till February. After that, things will be much better and more gains will come in. However, Ketu also aspecting the Lagna, which means that take care of your health, also take care in long distance travel, and take care of what you eat, because there is a chance that you may not eat well, and because of which you may have some health challenges, health related issues may pop up. However, period from February onwards is very good, fantastic period till November. So make the best gains out of the Gurus or the Jupiter's transit into your 11th house, of which Jupiter is also the Karaka of. So all the best to Pisces ascendant native. So friends, when you look at results for Jupiter's transit into Capricorn, which is happening next month end, look at it with the overall perspective of Saturn, overall perspective of Rahu and Ketu in Taurus and Scorpio respectively, overall perspective of Rahu aspecting Jupiter and Jupiter also aspecting Rahu back, rather than looking at it only because of virtual placement of Jupiter in Capricorn, because that will not be a correct analysis without keeping into mind that Saturn is placed with Jupiter for the entire 1 year, and Rahu and Ketu will also be placed in their respective signs of Taurus and Scorpio, and entire 1 year Jupiter is going to be under the aspect of Rahu, and Rahu is also going to aspect Jupiter back. So understand what your placement of Jupiter, Saturn, Rahu and Ketu, these 4 planets is in your Lagna chart, and because on basis that take decisions accordingly, make your choices accordingly, because this is a slightly tricky period with Jupiter going into its debilitation sign of Capricorn, at least first 3-4 months till beginning of February. If you are able to ride out this time without too much upheaval, without too many changes, then the next 9 months is going to be a very, very fruitful year for you. So all the best to you, and may you do very well. So friends, like this video, share this video and subscribe to my channel so that you get to know when my new video is coming. And if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me, the links given below. And till some other time with some other video, this is your friend, astrologer and guide Irfan signing off. Ciao.